Yep, that was a hit.
Hello everybody, this is Bubster47 with another product review. Today I am reviewing two things at once, kinda. There's the Blackhawk, both are Blackhawk brand, the tactical platform modular drop leg holster. Well, I guess it's not a holster, this is the holster, this is the drop leg. And then also the Blackhawk Serpa Holster. This is actually the carbon fiber one. It's a little bit lighter, but the real reason that I got it, it was actually cheaper than the other one, and it was actually available at the time for my gun. This one is for my Beretta PX4 Storm. If you haven't watched my review on that, go take a look at it. I'll post a link in the description and probably also put a little icon, you know, somewhere on the screen. And then this is also on my UTG tactical vest. I did a review on this as well. I actually replaced the holster that was on this vest with this one. Again, go take a look at my review. I'll post a little video kind of showing you why I replaced it with this. But that being said, if you haven't already, make sure to click on the bottom right hand side of the screen right here on the little icon to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all subscriptions, and I'll have more videos to come and more reviews to come. If you see anything that I didn't review that you'd like a review on, just let me know and I'll do my best to get a review out for you. And if you want me to talk a little bit more about anything, you know, post down in the comments, or you know, I can do another short review on, you know, whatever you want. I apologize for the wind noise. Hopefully it's not too bad. I don't know, I felt like doing it outside again today. It's just a nicer setting. It's nice out today, not too hot. So we'll see how this goes. Anyways, kind of go through some of the features of it. This is kind of how it attaches to the belt. It actually has a quick disconnect system, which is kind of nice. If you don't want to carry it all the time, if you want to just go without for a little bit. And it swivels, so you can kind of place it wherever you want. It held really well. I've got a couple of running guns that I did. I'll post links to those as well. Make sure you go watch that one. My last one is where I used this setup, and is way better than the one that that was on here. Just stayed put better. The little grips, it's got little grips on the back here. Those hold to your leg much better. One of the things I did notice, and I'm not exactly sure why they do it, is you can kind of see here the width of the straps are different on the upper as opposed to the lower. I honestly couldn't tell you why they do that, but anyways, it held up well. It didn't seem to sag down my leg as much as the other holsters that I have and have used. So that's a pretty good feature. One of the things I'll show you here, hopefully you can see in the back here, that's where it screws on. There's just two screws up top and then one screw underneath right here. You can kind of see in this lower one, there's a little bit of room to slide back and forth. The upper ones have some up and down sliding, so you can kind of, you know, turn this a little bit if you want it turned this or that. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can tell in the video, mine is just a little bit cockeyed. That's just kind of how I preferred it, just slightly forward, so when I draw it would come out easier, or I guess more natural feeling for me. Everything about this I really liked. I'm really glad I got it. It is a little bit of a cost compared to some of the other holsters there, but it served me well. This screw here is meant for affecting how tight the gun is when you go to pull it out. This holds it in, obviously. This, you know, there's a little clip inside here that clips in, holds the gun in, but there's a little piece in here. I don't know if you can see that. There's actually a little piece right here that kind of makes the gun tight so it doesn't flop around as you're running around. And then this screw also is supposed to tighten things in there, and that's for that part as well. For adjustments, you know, fiddle around with it for your gun. It's going to be a little different. I did see a couple of reviews of people complaining that this scratched their gun up. You know, that might have been a different brand, I can't remember now, but this didn't. I should have brought the gun out with me, but I haven't used it like a million times yet. But after a couple of good runs, and you know, I messed around with it at home a little bit to get used to it, no marks whatsoever that I could see on the gun. Again, your results might differ. Different brands of guns are going to differ. Like I said, this one is for my Beretta PX4 Storm. What else here? There's some adjustment, how far down the leg you like it to be. If you want it higher, obviously you can adjust that lower if you're taller or shorter. And that's going to be all personal preference, but those hold pretty well too. The stitching, you know, that might be something that comes into an issue later. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but where it attaches here, there's only one row of stitching across on the bottom. It's not coming apart or anything, but that's just something that I saw that might come into play down the road after you get quite a bit of usage on it. Again, right now I don't have any place where it's coming apart or anything like that. One note, if you have thick legs, I have pretty big legs, I guess, but you can see how far out I've got this. There is quite a bit more adjustment. Oops, I'm sorry. There is a bit more adjustment. You know, you can get a couple more inches, but that might not fit you comfortably depending on how you like it. It is kind of a stretchy material, so it kind of, you can get it tight and it'll still stretch a little bit. But if you have big legs, you might have to think about getting different straps, or maybe a different different platform, because this one, like I said, I can adjust it quite a bit further, but you know, there's a lot of guys that have much bigger legs than me, more muscular, whatever the case may be. So keep that in mind. The snaps on it, or clips, I don't know what you want to call it, are actually pretty stout, pretty sturdy. They clip in there really well. None of these came apart or anything in my runs, and you can actually see this strap here is even more let loose already. I like it to be a little looser maybe than most guys on my leg, but again, that's something to think about. The holster, not the platform, but the holster part, also came with 2 extra mount systems, I guess. There's a paddle and a belt loop system. The paddle one, let me open this up really quick so you can see. The paddle looks like you can mount it quite a few different ways. So if you're looking for a lot of change as far as how to place it, this one looks like you can mount it all kinds of different setups, as well as the belt clip. I haven't tried these. My setup, I wanted it for the drop leg, but these look like they could be pretty good for versatility if you're trying to do a different setup. Give me some shots of those. Overall, I really liked this setup. The Serpa style hard plastic is just much better than some of the other options that are out there. Like I said, in my video, I've got the one that came standard with this, and it just fell apart. and it didn't hold the gun tight. This is meant for the gun, sits in there perfect. You know, you're gonna have to get used to drawing and holstering your weapon, just because it's quite a bit different. That's one of the things I noticed, is especially holstering. Drawing wasn't really an issue, you just had to get used to the finger release. But holstering, since it's a smaller hole basically that you're putting it in, I'm gonna have to get, it's gonna take some time getting used to holstering, you know, the weapon effectively, I should say, without having to look down. You're like, okay, yeah, there it is, click. So that's not really a downside. I'm not saying that that's a problem. It's just something to be aware of. You're not going to necessarily pick this up and just be able to draw and holster like you used to. For example, I have a Springfield Armory XD45, and I have a holster specifically for that, but it's not a Serpa, it's just a regular soft case. But I can holster that thing without looking. I draw it and holster it super fast. This one's just gonna take me some time to get used to. The other thing I like about this, if you have multiple guns, it's pretty easy. Like I showed you before, just a couple of screws to pull this one off and put a different one on, so you only have to really buy one platform to fit multiple different pistols on. So anyways, that's my review. Really didn't get too much into durability and such. It's hard plastic, so it's going to last you a long time unless you do something crazy with it. The Blackhawk brand seems to be pretty good as compared to some of the other ones. Some of the guys I go with have different brands, and they don't seem to be quite as sturdy. Of course, there's going to be some other brands that are better, but anyways, Blackhawk seems to be good. Again, hopefully this wind isn't completely muffling my voice. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking that little icon on the bottom right hand side of the screen, because I'm going to have more reviews to come. And if you see anything that you want me to review, or want to know more information on something, let me know. And hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.